This episode is brought to you by the wine for bodacious gals like us.
Be bold, be outspoken, be bodacious.
Now we're back.
She was just singing. Is it even loading? Is it even working?
It's working.
Shady's
know
back,
how to
back
run
again. We
a
know how to shoot.
podcast.
Jeez, you'd honestly think, what episode is this? 68?
70.
70? Like, what is going on? Like, how do we not know after 70 episodes how to shoot a freaking podcast? Do you know what that is? That's 70 hours. They say after 10 hours you should not do something. How after 70 do we not know? Well, that is crazy.
You're bullying us for no reason. I think, Tori, we are doing a fantastic job, and we have learned a new skill.
I'm no bully. You're a bully. Now tell me why you're a bully.
Okay, let us preface a little bit. Welcome back to Poddy Talk, the podcast where we shit talk ourselves. I'm Jack.
I'm Tor.
And today we're going to go down memory lane. Now, when you're listening to this, it will be, is it the day before or the day after my birthday? What did you decide?
The day before.
Okay, so clearly it is not actually a live date that we're filming this, but in real life, it'll be my birthday tomorrow, which means I'll be 23.
No, sorry. The day it comes out on the Wednesday. It's your birthday on the Tuesday.
So I'm 23 by the time you're listening to this. That's all I gotta say.
She's going to be an old fart by the time you're listening to this.
It's going to be very interesting. It'll be a little lockdown birthday. Stay tuned how much I'm crying on my birthday. I don't know how that will actually go, but we'll see
how that'll end up.
Anyways, all this talk about birthdays though, and kind of thinking about that, it kind of got me into going down memory lane. So we were like, let's do a whole episode kind of chatting about weird historical moments in our life that we would have maybe never shared, or also just like had no reason to ever bring up, whether they're weird, embarrassing, hilarious,
but somehow impacted us,
or just impacted your personality.
Yes.
So I would love to kind of go down year by year and just share our childhood, Jack and Tor, and what we did.
All right. Well,
do you have anything off the top since you are older? You were alive before me.
1996, baby. The year that I was blessed on the earth.
Were you born fabulosity?
I was born in fabulosity. No, so I would say, I don't know, like what some of those, like early memories I have that are so funny are like, my dad used to do this thing where he would cook my sister and I on the bed. He'd be like, first you take the chicken, and he'd roll us out because he'd pretend to be, what's that woman's name? The chef woman that everyone, what's her name?
The chef woman?
Something Child, Eloise Child, or...
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Okay, I don't know. It's not coming right to my head, but like it was like a famous chef at the time, and then he'd be like, first you take the chicken, and he would like go like this, hey, you chop the chicken, and we were like little kids, and he'd basically like cook us.
And I can just imagine like you kids are belly laughing
like stir fry on the bed, and it was like a whole thing. So that was like an influential child memory. And then another influential child memory that comes to mind, my grandmother, we'd go to her house and she had these two couches that sat on either side, and it'd be like one side of the couch here and then one here, and there was like kind of running room in between because we'd like move the table over, and we'd play this game called Beastmaster, where my mom, we made it up obviously, my mom would be on one side of the couch mastering that couch, and my dad would be mastering the other side of the couch, and they'd have pillows, and the whole game would be that my sister and I, my brother wasn't alive yet, we'd run to one side of the couch, we'd have to steal the pillow and then somehow get it to the other Beastmaster's lair, and but the Beastmaster in between would like grab you and tickle you and like a whole thing, so you have to like somehow get the pillows, Beastmaster, fight your way with the pillow, and then run it back to the other safe couch and get it to the safe side.
That's
so Beastmaster was epic times to be alive.
Wait, that totally just triggered a memory. Okay, growing up, so I was really close with my cousins. We were all around the same age, and we would visit my grandparents' house, and my grandparents are, shout out to them, great people, absolutely love, and we would all kind of be in their basement, like the kids would stay in the basement and kind of play around as like dinner would be getting cooked or whatever, and the adults would stay upstairs. And our grandparents were fairly like strict / we were very scared of them, like especially my grandpa as children. It's so funny now because like my grandpa's like my homie now, but at the time as kids, like you were kind of scared of grandpa a little bit. Like he was like,
strict, yeah.
And so all 4 of us cousins were all playing in the basement. I think we were playing like hide and go seek take or something. And I specifically remember there was like these almost like foam ping pong paddles, but like the actual paddle wasn't wood, it was foam. So you would use them to kind of like play a bit of a game, but the handle was plastic.
Okay.
And I guess at one point my younger cousin Michael, and also for context, Michael and me were like dubbed as like the wild child, and the 2 older ones were like the more like normal,
Chill,
level-headed
yeah.
ones. So we were kind of like 2 little partners in crime, and we were always kind of like crazy and got in trouble, and that was just the 2 of us. But I was also just a bit smarter at the time and more manipulative than Michael. So I would like frame Michael to get in trouble and I just wouldn't.
Oh my God, you're
Or I
evil.
would like be a part of the drama, but I just wouldn't like execute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't remember how this exactly happened, but we were having a bit of a war and like running around in the basement. And then Michael, I guess, got this like foam ping pong thing and like threw it across like to like hit someone. But it just completely hit the wall and absolutely like dented and scuffed the wall like really bad. And we all stopped frozen in our track. We're like, uh-oh, we just like scratched the wall. Like Grandpa's gonna freak out. So I don't remember exactly what happened if one of us went upstairs to confess or one of the adults came down and right away they noticed that like something had happened. And then luckily Michael ended up getting all of the wrath and not all of us for like instigating it. So again, just work smarter, not harder. That's the main takeaway from that little 5-year-old lesson.
You're crazy. You're mean.
I wasn't the one that did it.
That's funny. Another thing that comes to mind from childhood, I may have told this on the podcast, that we had our whole like VHS camera and like all of our camera gear stolen when I was a kid. So like I have no home videos. Yeah, I have nothing.
That's so
Which
sad.
is so, when I am Kim Kardashian one day and they have all those throwback videos, like I need that. Like I'm pissed. Like, I'm so mad.
Honestly, that is the one thing if I ever lost I would be devastated for. That's why I spent...
The thing is, I lost it so long ago that I guess I'm not devastated because I almost don't know what I lost. Like, because I don't know what was even on it.
Yeah.
Like they took the container and they took everything, so I don't know.
I don't get it. Why would you steal someone else's home videos?
So there was tapes in the camera at the time that were taken with the camera because they obviously stole the camera.
Yeah.
And then there was like I guess like some sort of bucket with extra gear and stuff, but then there was tapes in there. So the tapes just like I'm sure got thrown in the garbage.
And all of your home photos?
Photos we have.
Oh, you have photos.
Lots of photos, just not video.
Oh, that's so sad. I would honestly be so crushed. I'm sorry, dude.
No, it's fine. I mean, yeah, you have a ton of videos. Mm-hmm. The thing is, I don't know. Like, I'm sure there's something somewhere if we really tried to look and find.
Or on someone else's, like, childhood videos.
Or maybe on someone
else's.
Or
something.
No one recorded a ton of video. I don't remember that being, like, a huge part of my childhood. I remember it kind of being around, but I think we took more photos. Like, we have a ton of childhood photos.
Yeah. But it is so weird to think, too, like, what a privilege in modern day that everyone has an iPhone and can record every moment of their baby. And, like,
I don't know if that's good or bad.
I don't know. And it's, like, weird to think that babies' childhood photos will be, like, on an iPhone and not, like, this, like, weird, like,
Well, it was
film.
funny because, yeah, speaking of, like, the preciousness of, like, actual film, we were over at my grandparents' a few weeks ago and they had some of their, like, wedding photos that they had found, like, in the closet, but they were in, like, nice frames and stuff. And Adam and I were looking at them and we were just saying, it's so weird how the value of that seems far superior than like scrolling through your iPhone and finding like a photo of someone else's wedding.
Oh, totally.
Like, I don't know what it is, but like the tangible quality of like a photo shot on film, preserved over time. Maybe that's it. This idea that we don't have to preserve the memories anymore.
Yeah, it makes it less special.
It does.
And it's so weird. Yeah, the whole
I can scroll back to 2014 in my phone. Like that makes it so unexciting to see how hideous I was looking in 2014.
Yeah, no, I agree. It is like the whole concept of time makes things just inherently more valuable. Like I remember my aunt a few weeks ago had FaceTime me and she's like, you're not going to believe what I just found. Like I was cleaning out a dresser, same kind of thing. And I guess it was this, my aunt was moving to Ottawa at the time and she lived near us growing up. And so we were kind of writing this like going away kind of card and like we were writing cute things about her. So my mom, I guess, had interviewed us and like wrote down our answers and it would be like fill in the blank. Like Aunt Donna means blank to me. So we would say like weird and hilarious things. It'd be like my Aunt Donna's favorite thing is like chicken. Like we would put like say hilarious weird
words,
things.
Yeah.
So anyway, she had it all like written out. It was like in our writing and like it was this like random piece of paper that at the time was probably like, oh cute, like thanks for writing that, Jaclyn and Harrison or whatever. But then looking back 20, almost 25 years later, it becomes like the most hilarious, like, oh my God, like we did that so long. Exactly. And it's like in the moment it meant nothing.
Yeah.
So it is weird though. I do kind of struggle and hover on the line of like, should I save this for archival purposes and just for like the art of saving things? But then the other part of me is so minimalist and it's like, get rid of it. But
did you see that Kim Kardashian had saved like everything from Kanye's like lyrics that he had written for her and stuff and she was able to pull it? Yeah.
What does that mean?
She just was speaking to the fact that she keeps everything and just recently she posted a photo of Kanye's Kanye's birthday card to her, and he ended up using the words he wrote in the card to her in his latest album, like on his song. And she was like, it's so crazy that like, she's like, I keep everything. And he was one day struggling with lyrics, and I brought out some of the old cards that he had written me. And then he had like taken some of the thing, because he was like, you're my God, you're my holy person. And then he ended up like using those lyrics like in his new songs. And she was like, I keep everything because I'm so sentimental. And she's like, it's funny that it can all like influence itself. And
it is true. I definitely do see value in saving certain things, like looking back on, even for your kids or your family growing up. Like, it is so special to see those moments.
Funny because my parents, they were together obviously when they were in high school, and like they had, you know, obviously like exchanged cards and exchanged gifts and exchanged all these things. And my mom was saying her one regret is that when because they broke up for 1 year in their early 20s, and she got rid of everything. And she's like, I really regret that, because she's like, all of our like high school things and photos and stuff, like there's obviously some, but she was like, all of those like extra sentimental things, I think, she's like, I think I legitimately had a burning party, and we had like, which I'm so conscious of that now. And I mean, I wouldn't do it anyways, but I know that if Adam and I broke up, I would not get rid of like things.
Well, it's even like that one day when your text almost disappeared. Remember when
I was so pissed. Yes. Well, Adam and I, like, you know, like an iMessage saves as like a long history of text. And for some reason, one day I went to text him and I realized there was like nothing else there. Like I couldn't.
It was like you were texting him for the first time.
And I said, guys, what? Like, look at this. Why is it like not coming up with our previous messages? And I had a literal mini freak out, because it was literally 5 years of us dating of text messages. Not that I would really ever need them, or like that maybe, like, I don't know, but it's just like the idea like,
that now it was gone.
Now it was gone. I'm like, what? Like, what if I needed to reference that, or I don't know.
And it is so weird, because I do hear the argument all the time of like, the best memories are preserved like in your mind. You got to be present. Like, those are the memories. But I do have to say, there is like something so valuable, whether it's looking back at texts, messages, letters, but videos, like even like stupid videos back when I was 16. Like, I put so much more value on them now, because I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool to see like what I was doing when I was 16. Like,
it's like at the time they have no value, but I found one of my friend and I from high school like sitting in photo booth like, hi, welcome to our YouTube channel. And it was like so stupid, but now it's so precious, because you realize, like 10 years later, that's actually so nice that I had that moment with my friend.
Totally. Yeah.
But I don't know if we'll feel the same in another 10 years, because our technology has... But
there's so much of it now.
Because there's so much. Like, we lose value in the sense that if back then we were taking 5 videos a year and we happen to preserve them, they're so precious because there's only 5 and they're cool. But like now we can basically follow our whole year in review on our iPhone and see what we did every single day.
And even now with like the archive on Instagram with like the calendar of your stories, like you can truly go back to any day and be like, what was I posting about? What do I... Yeah, I don't know, man.
So I don't know how I feel about it.
It's all so weird.
It is. It really is.
I have a really funny moment that I was actually, when we were, you know, conceptualizing all of our lovely story times. I have this hilarious story, which literally has followed me throughout my entire life, ever since I was in SK, which like here in Canada, we have JK, SK. It's like kindergarten, like your first years of school. So SK was the second year. And at this point, so in JK, I was a very like, crying child. Like, I would cry for the
emotional, you mean?
Well, like
I was a crying child. I don't know if that's
I don't think I was
English.
Like emotional. I was crying at school. Like, I mean, maybe I think I like missed my mom. Or, like, I don't know what was happening. Okay. But I was also, to be fair, I have a late birthday, so I was like 3 years old when I started school.
Baby.
So I was a little baby. Like, that seems so also like illegal. How do you just like put a 3-year-old in? That doesn't make sense.
No, I think I went to Montessori when I was like 3 or 4.
Yeah, that just seems so young. Anyway, so I guess I was like crying and like whatever, and then eventually had this come to Jesus moment where I like figured out
your
school
shit
and, like,
together.
Yeah. Fast forward by SK, I was like, I am ruling this like school. Like, I got this. Little JK, SK Jaclyn was just like living life. And at this point, I had some of my friends in my class. I had like my neighbor Jeffrey and my cousin Michael was back in this class. So like we were little shit disturbers. And they were both like, God bless, love them. They would just like listen to whatever I would say. And I don't know where this idea comes from. And I have such blurry memories from this time. But this story just gets told so often that like I can never forget it. So I guess I must have just been like being annoying and was like, Jeffrey, Michael, go steal, God bless, poor Zach Rogers shoes. Shout out to Zach Rogers if he ever sees this. And he just got, I think, a new pair of sneakers. And I was just like, I told them to go steal it. Like, that was their mission.
God,
to go take them. And I think what had happened is, like, you know how you would change your indoor shoes to your outdoor shoes?
Yeah.
So I was like, during like the crossover
and go in the
lunch.
cubbies?
Yes.
Yeah.
So like during the crossover at lunch, I was like, guys, like go hide his new shoes or something. I don't know. And the thing is, the Zach kid was my friend. Like, it made no sense. So
maybe
anyways,
you had a crush on him.
I don't know.
Go steal his shoes so I can get his attention. Did you find in Midika, that reminds me like when you're in elementary school and like, that whole sentiment that if a boy is mean to you, they like you, which makes
absolutely.
absolutely no sense at all.
But then I would be so mean to them back if I like someone.
Same. Like I would just bully them, and I'm like, you better love me now.
Yeah.
That
is just so elementary.
It makes no sense.
I
the guy that definitely loved me the most is the one that called me Spaz Bug and like ruined my life by giving me the most harsh nickname ever.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I don't know what the actual goal was. Anyways, long story long, I told them to go. Did you have like little fake play sets in your like little fake kitchen and stuff? So they took his shoes and they put it in the little like fake refrigerator and just like hid them in there. We were giggling. We thought it was so funny. And then I guess come after recess, Zach was like, oh, I don't know where my indoor shoes are. They're not in my cubby.
God, you're so savage.
Literally, listen to this. Are you okay?
No, I was looking at my notes because I was thinking of grade 1. I told this story, but go ahead.
Anyway, so now comes after recess. My teacher goes, guys, Zach can't find his new shoes. We all need to get up and help him find his new shoes. So then listen to this. The whole classroom gets up and we start looking for his new shoes, except for me, Jeffrey, and Michael. We're sitting there at our desks like giggling. So it's so obvious that we did something to them. So we're sitting there just like, don't say anything, like whatever.
Where did you put them?
They were in the refrigerator, like the kid refrigerator of like whatever.
Oh my God. They were
so I think, but then this is what's even funnier. I think I don't remember the exact details. Someone that knows the story will have to watch this and tell me. I'm pretty sure I might have been the one that was like, I think I know where they are, and like went to the fridge and was like, oh, Zach, I found your shoes, and like whatever, then save the day. And they're like, well, who hid them in there? And then like Jeffrey and Michael ended up confessing for hiding them in there. So you
somehow got off scot-free again?
But then listen. So then,
Jesus.
And what makes it even funnier is that I'm pretty sure both the boys got cloudy notes home, which you would either get a sunshine note if you were good and like have like a little standout moment, or a cloudy note if someone was bad. So they both got cloudy notes for stealing someone's shoe.
And you somehow got it.
I didn't get a sunshine note. I didn't get that big of a reward, but I just got a neutral nothing, and they got cloudy notes.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was like a really funny.
I feel like that just is who you are as a person. Like you're the orchestrator in the behind the scenes, but you won't actually like. This is why you and I are so different, because I would be the one that would just simply get in trouble, sent to the office, like own my shit forever, was the shit disturber, like you're too loud, go. And you're like the one orchestrating in the background, and then everyone else gets fucking all the shit.
I didn't commit the crime.
Yeah, but that's still manipulation. That's insane.
Anyways, no, it was just like this hilarious story. And
oh my God.
Poor Jeffrey and Michael never forgave me for me giving them a cloudy note, basically. But I said, y'all were just too weak-minded. Why did you listen to me? I was just having fun.
No, that's still your problem. That's hilarious. I'm sure I've told these 2 stories on the podcast, but these are the ones that are very influential to my elementary. The first is This My Chapstick from Mladen, you know, the man with the chapstick who ended up
episode 1.
Yes, who ended up commenting on the podcast.
Okay, retell
Full circle
it.
Moment. Well, basically, if you didn't listen to the first episode, this man Mladen, he was in his underwear. I entered the bathroom. He was in the girls' bathroom, and he was in his underwear, and I caught him. And then it was show and tell that day, and he was holding a chapstick, and he goes, "This my chapstick." And anyways, it was like the weirdest thing ever. And he told this whole show and tell story about his chapstick.
Wait, why was he in the bathroom without clothes on?
To this day, I wish. Mladen, comment below.
Oh, you don't know?
I don't know. He found our podcast. Let me just say that, and he commented.
He reached out.
He reached out. We've connected since. So now I'm scared to tell any real stories about any of these things. But there was one other one that I was going to tell.
So did you say "This my chapstick" or did he say "This my chapstick"?
No, he did. And the other one was that I don't understand.
If I'm honest, I don't get the connection.
In grade 6, I brought like 56 Webkins to school.
Yeah, this makes sense. You were that kid. What, in a garbage bag? Like, how do you carry all those?
No, I had them in a carrier.
In a carrier?
Did you guys used to like do trades and stuff?
Yeah, Littlest Pet Shops though. It wouldn't be Webkins.
And the beans, those like
Mighty Beans.
Oh
my God, I forgot about Mighty Beans.
And Tamagotchis at recess.
Yes.
Didn't they end up banning Tamagotchis?
We had Heelys that got banned as well.
Yeah, Heelys got banned at my school too. It's so funny how all those things were so trendy.
Why did they want us to have no fun?
I was never tomboy enough to even know what a Heely was.
I had 2 sets of Heelys. I had the single wheels for like quick escapes, and then double wheels for more stability.
You know what I also did once? You know those cars that you can get at Toys R Us, like the kid cars, like the ones that all the Kardashian babies,
like the little Jeeps.
I brought a Jeep to school, like a Toys R Us Jeep I drove. And I was so dumb because, you know, it's like a rechargeable. Those batteries at the time were heavy as hell and they were like really weird and you have to like plug them into the wall. And like, it was so crazy. So of course I run out of battery. So I'm like,
how did you get to school with that? Like you pulled up to school in that as a kid?
Yeah, I didn't live too far from school and my friend and I were so dumb and we literally rolled up in the car and then we died of battery and we were trying to be like so swaggy in this Toys R Us car.
How old were you?
Too old for what it was.
That makes so much sense.
Like, I don't know, 10? Maybe younger.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say like 14.
No. I don't think you could fit when you're 14. They're pretty small. I mean, I was little. We also brought it to the convenience store once. It also died battery. I don't know how my parents let us just roll out on that. We'd be like, okay, bye. And
like
we'd
in your little fake
drive the neighborhood.
Did you guys both fit in it? Or you guys both had separate vehicles? Yeah, you could fit 2 people.
No, we were in one vehicle.
Oh my God.
But that was the thing too. It was very weight sensitive. So like you couldn't have like a heavy person. They would have to be like 2 little people. We'd drive the neighborhood. It was so funny.
You know what? That reminds me of, oh my God.
Did you have a car?
Kind of. So I think as kids, we had those like little ones. Like we would all kind of share them in the family. Like, and they would get recycled to the newest like baby, you know?
No, it wasn't a baby car though.
But like a toddler. Like a...
No, like...
How big is the vehicle? Like I'm talking like the ones...
the ones from Toys R Us. Like they're not...
Yeah.
In my head, they're big. Like in my head,
they're
it's
not.
large.
It's like this. Like it's like not that big of a thing.
It was like heavy. Like you couldn't push it.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was light, but I'm
Okay.
saying they're smaller for a toddler.
Okay.
Not like an actual like, teenager.
I also think I don't know. Anyways, go ahead.
10 years old was too old. I will flag.
Okay.
You were above the age limit, I'm sure.
It's got to be +6 to even drive, I'm pretty sure.
That's too funny. But no, okay, so we used to go to the CNE every year, which is like the X here in Toronto, which is kind of like an outdoor carnival. Like, what else would you describe it as? Like a fair?
Yeah.
Kind of like a
carnival
big, like...
fair, yeah.
Anyways, and we would always do it the last day before school, and we'd come to Toronto, and we would like have a really fun day and like do all the rides and games, and randomly, you know when you see all those different like games to win the big prizes? Like there's like the stuffed toys, but then there's like a really good prize in some of them, and it's like either like a mini motorbike or an electric scooter or like something like that. So I was like, Dad, I really want an electric scooter. You'd be the best dad ever if you won one. Don't take the thunder from my story. You just had one.
Yeah, I did.
Well, I have a better story. We won one.
Nice.
So Danny, you know Danny, if I put him to a mission, he's very much so like me in that way.
Yeah.
So he goes to like he saw that there was a crowd around one of the games, like the carnival games. And I guess it was the one where you like throw a ball and you got to knock over like 3 blocks to get them off the table or something.
Okay.
And it seems very simple. That's the whole like point of it. So people pay their money, but it's like really hard to do. So my dad was like, Guy, you got to tell me the secret. Like, what's happening? How are you doing this? I got to win one for my daughter.
Aw.
This guy was super nice. He was like, here's the secret. You got to like hit it at this angle and like whatever. My dad grew up playing baseball. He's very athletic. So he like knew he could do it. He just needed to know what the technique was.
Yeah.
So he goes, I kid you not, very first try, boom, wins. And we're all like, Dah! Like we are so happy, right? And then Dad feels like the best dad ever because he's like rolling around with the X, like with his big prize. People are like, yo, you won that.
Aww.
So the first year he wins the electric scooter. I take it back to my little town. I used to live in a court. I'm zooming around. I feel like the coolest new kid on the block with my little electric scooter. Fast forward the next year, we go back to the X and I go, Dad, you gotta do it again. This year, instead of electric scooters, they were mini motorbikes. Like literally,
those were dangerous.
They were really fast.
Me.
They actually were like hazardous. They were for adults actually, but they were mini sized. And I go, Dad, I really want a motorbike.
Oh my God, Danny.
And Dad goes, of course, Jack, I got this. What do you know?
He
First try again, wins the motorbike.
Oh my God,
Danny's
people
ego,
must have
right?
hated him.
Oh, his ego at this point too. Like carnies must hate him because he like, was winning all the stuff. Anyway, so he is again feeling so incredible. I rode around my town, and that was just like my defining moment of childhood. It's just like my dad won the electric scooters and the motorbike. So really big shout out to you. But you had one too, an electric scooter.
Oh yeah, she was speedy too. I brought that to school as well.
Oh my God.
This was I don't know
your methods of transportation.
I didn't live too far from school, and I don't know. We just ride around. To be fair, we had like little mini skateboards. We had electric scooters. We had the car. The car was really the prized possession though. Like I will say that car got us to some serious locations. Yeah, like we'd get around
even though
town.
It died when you got there.
We'd only ever get like halfway, and then we'd like, guess we're pushing it back up the hill.
Oh my God.
It was so funny.
No,
sometimes we were smart and we'd pack a secondary battery. Like we did get pretty snazzy. Like it was honestly so funny, like how intense we took our car driving.
It really is crazy to see like the technology of toy development. Like they make some crazy things for kids.
Now they have like Rolls Royce versions, like which I can tell you right now, mine was very much a Dollarama version. Like it was not.
I know, mine was like this weird little like car.
Mine was cute, but to be fair, I remember my parents saying, because like we didn't grow up like with a ton of money or anything, and the way they got it was that it was like a sale at Toys R Us, and it was like the last one on the thing, and it had like
It was like the floor model.
Yeah, it was like default or like floor model or whatever, and so that's why we got them, because at the time those were like new, like that
they
was
were
like fresh on the market. They were a lot, yeah.
So Toys R Us used to be the best store.
Does it still exist?
I thought it went bankrupt, but then it came back. But also, like, I feel like it's just not the same, especially because kids nowadays would rather just have a cool iPad.
It's all digital,
Yeah, growing up, like going into a Toys R Us was the coolest thing ever. Like new Barbies and toys and Play-Dohs and like all of these things.
I know. I loved Polly Pocket.
Did you ever eat the clothes? Like a little snack?
Ew! I'm telling you, we would not have been friends as kids. Like, I just know.
No, I didn't. I just saw a tweet and it was really funny. And it was like, nothing will hit the same as chewing a Polly Pocket skirt back in 08.
Yeah, because
like that gummy kind of material.
I know.
Like gummy.
It's true. And the Easy Bake Ovens. Like, just such a memory.
I loved Easy Bake Oven. I used to love the Barbie Dream House. One year for Christmas, I asked for the one with like the elevator that you would like wind up. And that was like the coolest thing to me.
I loved Barbie and Ken together. I always played with them.
Bratz I liked too, but they were a little more like scandalous.
Yeah, I didn't play with Bratz as much as Barbie. How do you feel now being 23?
In this very moment, I feel like 23 is it's not that much crazier than 22.
Right.
Whereas 24 seems a lot older than 23 to me.
Thank
so maybe
you.
Next birthday I'll freak out.
1 year ahead.
But yeah, 23 seems very underwhelming. What's that song lyric? Nobody likes you when you're 23.
Yeah, and whereas 22 is, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. Where I feel like that's, like 22 was such a vibe. I do agree. 23 was kind of like a
22 should have been a vibe. I'm going to be honest. My 22 year of life has been a little locked in the house. But yeah, 22 was definitely not what I expected.
Yeah.
But
22 has been a little locked in the house.
Yeah, it's like not the same vibe.
That's hilarious. Okay, so what is the vision then for 23? What is like a goal or like a vision that you have for this year?
Honestly, at this point, I just feel like life is so unclear with the state of the world that I actually don't know. But I have to say, what is very different, I feel like, about this year and this birthday, besides all the obvious state of the world, is that I actually feel like I'm kind of feeling good.
Good.
I always talk about this. December is my worst month. I just mentally don't feel good. I feel like burnt out. I feel like I always get into this weird depressive state. I just like am not doing good in December. And it sucks because my birthday hits then, and then it's like Christmas time, and then that makes me even more sad because I'm like, why should I be sad? It's like such a nice time, and then like it makes me even more sad. And then it's New Year's, and then that makes me reflective and nostalgic. Like it's just all of these like, I feel like very intense milestones. Exactly. Yeah. So coupled it all together, it's just like, oh, I hate December. And it's like so sad because it's like, why not look forward to like the end of the year? Yeah. But I have to say, I'm feeling good.
Nice.
So I don't know if it's like, if I'm jinxing it.
No.
But no, I feel excited. My goal is actually to be like hopefully snowboarding and like outdoors a lot more this winter just because of lockdown and stuff. If that's something that we can do safely and if I can like go up on weekends and do that, like I think that'll be really good for me. And ideally on my birthday, I'd love to be doing that. But again, right now I don't know like what's allowed.
Yeah.
But that to me is like 10 times more of like my dream day than like it would be like going out to a club with friends. Like that's still obviously super fun and like obviously would love that now.
What we did last year, the chalice of Jaclyn.
But yeah, like that is like very much so my style. So I think it'll be a very chill birthday, but like at least not like a crying, feeling down birthday, which will be good.
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah. Good. All right. Well, we are going to hop into our Living Bodaciously segment. You guys know we love to share stories brought to us by our audience. You guys are so special and you share your bodacious moments with us and we share them anonymously on the pod and give our 2 cents because you know us, we can never not shut up about our feelings.
And we like to hear about your feelings as well. So like Tor said, these are anonymous. Don't worry, we're not spilling too much of the tea, but we did want to highlight some of your epic wins. So this one we have here, Torri very appropriately named it Sharing Who I Am. And this was a really epic story that we wanted to share. This one says, I acted bold when I finally came out of the closet. Growing up, I always knew that I was gay, but I was also taught by society that it wasn't right. So I hide that side of me at all costs. This created a level of shame that made me extremely hard to live authentically. When I was younger, I never thought I would come out, but in my early 20s, I developed a major depression and decided to make a change and to face my fear. I started telling my friends and family. In some cases, it wasn't as accepted, but overall, I did feel loved and proud of who I was. Coming out took so much weight off my shoulders and allowed me to reach my full potential. I wish I did it sooner. That story, as soon as I read it, honestly just like stuck out and was so inspiring. I think it's so easy to forget because we seemingly live in an accepting world that was much more accepting than it was years ago, how hard it still is to do. And it's really so inspiring. And especially if you have a family that's not accepting, it's a big fear for sure.
Absolutely. I hope that everyone wants to be their most authentic self, you know? And I think that's such a beautiful message to say that I wish I did it sooner, because it just goes to show that even though they took that bold step to push themselves into that new direction, ultimately it was the right choice and it got them to where they need to be.
And I think as hard and as sad as it may be to say, if people aren't going to accept you,
those are not people you need in your life.
That just shows that they actually were never rooting for you or fully there for you in the first place, which that's obviously a really hard pill to swallow. But the reality is onwards and upwards, and everyone deserves to be surrounded by a good supportive group of people. So I love that.
Deeply believe in love. I'm a love doctor, and I want everyone to be so love Dr. Torri in the house, love Dr. Jaclyn in the house. We want you to have love. But it's so true. Like I so love, and I love people that love, and I love people that want to be authentically in love. And so I love this story.
I also find it fascinating too, like when people decide to come out, because I feel like it's such a varying range. Like you hear people that are out and proud by the time they're 11 and have discovered that of themselves, whereas other people, they wait until their early 20s. Some people you hear it's not until they're like 70 and they finally come to terms and come out. And that's, I think, also a good takeaway. It's like everyone is on their own path and there's no timeline of what is right and what is wrong. It's all like what you were saying, back to authenticity and when it feels right for you. And
absolutely. And also if there are people in your life where you feel like they need to be pushed in a certain direction, I feel like I've been in scenarios like that, and it's actually like just none of our business. Like I just love giving people the space to figure out who they want to be, and when they want to share their truth, then that's up to them.
I also think too, I was reading a lot of different articles, especially about like safety and coming out, and if you're in a place if you're not accepted by your family and it's genuinely not safe for you to, because you will be put in a risky situation, like you have to make the best choice for you and your health and
take care of your heart, baby.
Yeah. We love you. Thanks for sharing. That was a beautiful story.
Thank you for sharing.
We have another story here, Tor. This is all you.
Wow. This one is called No Real Plan. I've had an itch to move abroad for years, probably ever since I visited Europe backpacking when I was 20. My career in Toronto was going well. I landed a job at a company in industry I wanted, had a partner, amazing friends, loving family, a dog, and my own place. Wow, this person's living their best. But there was still a void in me that needed to be filled. When I was redundant in my job, it was even more clear that I had to do it and go. I took a year to save up some money, finished my photography course I had started prior to being laid off, got my 2-year visa, and moved to London. Wow.
That's a dream.
I'm going to assume London, UK, not London, Ontario. With no real plan, I made the move to both excitement and concern from others around me. I was also 30, so I had years of experience and knew some people in London. I felt really confident, but more excited and adventurous than anything else. My first few months job searching didn't land any roles, but going through a friend / an old colleague, I was offered a gig in Bali for a month doing photography and some marketing work. Wow, Bali. Okay. I've been there. I love it. Whilst there, love this writing. Whilst there, I also ended up landing a job at my current company. It was a great month. When I got back to London, I started my job. 3 years later, I've been promoted twice, got sponsored to stay in the country, and more than doubled my salary. Cha-ching! I also have a loving partner and we live together. I'd say my move has paid off, not just with career or income, but with life experience, travel, love, and self-awareness. That, my friend, is a bodacious story.
That might be the most bodacious story we've heard in a hot minute. That is crazy. It's so funny.
This person lives a very perfect life.
I know. I was going to say, it's so funny to map out the milestones and like lay them out like that, because it's like, oh, wow, it just worked. It worked out great for you.
We were literally saying this the other day because we were recalling when we just launched the podcast, which now I guess was 70 episodes ago, so 70 hours of work later. And what's so crazy is Jack and I were saying when things happen so naturally, like in this story, you know it's happening for the right reason. Like, you know it's meant to be there. I think when things are forced or they feel too, fake or like, I don't know, like convoluted, you should like walk away from it.
Yeah, I do think there's something to be said for like the ease of things falling into place. But it's also interesting too, because I wonder if there was a lot more road bumps that this viewer just didn't share. Whether it's because like timing and...
Are you talking about the fact that we've had road bumps along the way in the podcast?
Well, yeah, I was going to kind of go back to what we were saying earlier about like you talk about these stories of childhood and you maybe like are missing some major moments or you romanticize it in so many ways. So it sounds like this easy, perfectly packaged story, but I'm sure this person has also experienced so many bumps before reaching their milestones.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
I'm also just so inspired and now I want to move to Bali. Why am I here?
Guys, Bali is the place to be. But it is so true. I think that is a good sentiment that we do like to romanticize life and we like to make it seem like it was all a highlight reel and picture perfect. But there's no doubt that in between, I mean, he did even say my first few months job searching, I didn't land any roles. And those are the months where you're sitting there going, hey, do I have enough money in my bank account to pay for my rent?
Ramen and exactly.
Eating KD, you know.
And that's the thing too. It's like sacrifices are, if sacrifices are going towards a reward or something that you're looking forward to, then it is totally worth it. It's like risk and reward. And you have to, it's like a personal decision. No one can tell you, oh my God, that's too risky. That's not the right choice. You are the only one that can only know that answer. So if it's worth it to you, then it's worth it. There's no other, there's no discussion.
True. Yeah.
You're doing
it. Is it worth it to live in Bali and just eat KD for just 2 weeks before I get a job? Absolument.
Is it worth it to put all that work in and then double your salary? Absolument.
I love it.
I love that.
Well, thank you for your Bodacious stories. You guys know we love them. Thank you to our sponsor, Bodacious, for always letting us bring your zesty stories to life, bring this crazy little podcast we do to life as well.
Yeah.
And we will see you in our next episode.
Thanks so much. It's been Poddy Talk, the podcast where we shit talk ourselves. I'm Jack.
And I'm Tor.
And goodbye.
See ya. Never.
Bye, guys.